best thing to do, wait till the dust settles, and then tear down people who give opinions. All right. It's 2020. The NFL draft just ended the first round. Justin Herbert has been drafted by the San Diego Chargers. Most people are excited. Some people are not. And just like every week, we're going to go through some tweets of some people who are not necessarily excited. And they're just going to kind of get progressively worse as we go. We're going to start off with some tame ones and keep it going. Butler, what's the first one we got on the docket?
Still the Los Angeles Chargers, by the way. They did not go back to San Diego. Justin Herbert is a bust. And if the Miami Dolphins select him over Tua, they could ruin their entire rebuild. So, Justin Herbert, not a bust, but that seems like that could be a trend in this video that we might be claiming that he's already definitively not a bust. Also, Tua, not quite as good as Justin Herbert.
No, and I think definitively we can say drafting Justin Herbert would not have ruined the Miami Dolphins. I think that is fair to say.
But do you got something maybe that mentions Justin Herbert being a bust or something, perhaps?
Yeah.
Is there something over there?
If they ever do like an analysis on words used the most in our videos, bust is going to be number one. Herbert will be a bust. Pretty standard. He's a bum. A little ruder. The only quarterback that can ball in the draft are Tua and Hurts. At me, please. We don't at people here. We don't really dabble in Twitter a ton, but we do call you out on a YouTube video. I'd say pretty much everybody can agree Herbert better than Tua and Hurts.
Yeah, Hurts looks to be still got a little bit of passing work to do too. You could say the same thing. Herbert, again, he's looking solid.
And this, unlike some of our videos where we're like they're calling out like, oh, we should have drafted this guy instead. We're like, oh, that guy's clearly not good. Tua and Hurts, I think, are still kind of up in the air. Herbert's just not up in the air. He's just good.
It's very good. There are also, with that, here, there are also 3 things that are certain, that are in life that are certain: death, taxes. You've heard that.
Both facts.
Both facts, and Justin Herbert being a bust.
Less of a fact.
But he did bat 2 for 3, which is pretty good.
Yeah, 66%. That looks like some of my grades in high school.
Round up to 67 here. So there you go.
But yeah, I think definitively, I would say one of those 3 things, not a certain for sure. My favorite one, honestly, if I could have done 20 minutes on this tweet because it is my favorite. It makes me laugh every time I read it. Tua, Hall of Famer. Maybe he could turn it around. Herbert, bust. Pretty definitively not the case. Sherbert, delicious. Yeah, absolutely it is. Another guy who, okay, he's 1 for 3 on this one, but he is 1 for 3, and I'm giving him credit because it's hilarious, and I love it.
Yeah, that was not great, but yeah, you got it. This one had to be in here. One of our favorite tweets.
Listen, it had Herbert as a bust, and it made me laugh. That's what you need to do to get on the show. That's all you have to do.
All right. What about comparing Justin Herbert to a maybe not so great quarterback in the past? Would that also be eligible to make the video?
Also a very good way to get on the show.
Because what if you said that Chargers let the GOAT walk, presumably Phillip Rivers? I would think.
If you're a Chargers fan, I can understand you thinking he's the GOAT.
Could also be LaDainian Tomlinson, just many years down the road. He just was late to the party and said you let him walk.
He's very, very delayed.
Now he's playing for the Jets. Again, I mean, this would have been whatever, like 10 years ago. But
it was a while back.
Yeah, I don't even know how long ago that was. I don't know. But LT on the chest, that's what you remember him, right? His prime years. They let him walk just to draft Blaine, Gabbert, Phillip Rivers, that is, 2.0 with no left tackle. Amazing. I think amazing was sarcastic, I think, is what that was.
I think he was not being sincere in his amazing. I think that is fair to say.
Because if not, I mean, if he's saying it was amazing, that's actually a pretty good take. It's actually not the right video, but Blaine Gabbert.
Maybe we're confused. Maybe we're wrong on this one.
Blaine Gabbert has not been good in his career, and I believe he's not in the NFL now. I don't know, actually. I don't think he is. But...
I feel like there's like a 50% chance he's a backup somewhere that we just don't know about. He seemed like one of those guys who's just going to kind of be a career backup.
You know what? Something about Blaine Gabbert. He knows he's a guy you can count on to win a game.
Oh, yeah. And if you don't understand that joke, why didn't you watch last week? That's what I want to know. Yeah, I think also it's another one of those, safe to say, Justin Herbert, not Blaine Gabbert 2.0.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think
like
that
we're
was.
deep enough to say that.
I think he probably pretty much solidified that to be the case, or not the case, about 30 seconds into his first game. So
Yeah. Next one, kind of along the same lines. Um, Worse take than that. Justin Herbert has bust written all over him. Pretty standard. He's a poor man's Nick Foles. Not only is he's not Nick Foles, he's a poor man's Nick Foles. He wishes he was Nick Foles. That's what this guy's saying.
yeah, I don't even. I was curious, like, what does a poor man's Nick Foles look like in the NFL? I would assume they're not actually in the NFL. So that's like,
Yeah.
what is a poor man's Nick Foles? Now he did have a great run. There's always, he did have a great run with Philly 1 year, but I don't even know what a poor man's Nick Foles even. I don't even know what that is.
I mean, poor man's Nick Foles is a practice squad guy, I would assume.
I guess I don't know. That's what
But
he's
yeah,
claiming.
yeah, I give this guy credit because he went a little harder than the last guy. He said he's a poor man's as opposed to just another one. So I give him credit for that, for being bold. But you don't. That's the only credit you get on this show for being bold. You still get called out for it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Houston Texan, former Houston Texan. This guy, straight to the point. They drafted Justin Herbert out of Oregon to the Chargers, and he says they have Tyrod Taylor, those idiots. So
Yeah. Why would you want a generational talent when you have Tyrod Taylor?
also, we do have to give this guy a little bit credit because when he's saying those idiots, I assume he's talking about GMs, in this case, the GM of the Chargers, and we love GM hate. So in that case, well done.
Yeah.
But probably not deserved on this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, you were wrong to call him out on this one, but in general, big fans of GM hate.
Keep doing that. You're going to get somewhere if you keep doing that. So keep doing your thing. I know this was 2 years ago, but I hope you've been keeping doing your thing, because that is a success, a way to success right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something we love here a lot. I can't believe I didn't even figure this out, but I landed on my favorite one, the penultimate. I love penultimate. I don't the take's pretty good, but I just love saying penultimate. Only NFL draft hot takes. So this guy had one hot take on the entire draft, and he's on the show, so that should probably tell you maybe he didn't have a great analysis of the 2020 draft. I don't even understand how it's a debate to take Tua after number 2. In an event where 50% of these guys are bust anyways, I don't know that stat lines up, but okay. I just don't see the downside in grabbing the most gifted quarterback, especially when the alternative is Justin Herbert. And my favorite part, a.k.a. college Kirk Cousins. Once again, I think we can definitively say not only is Justin Herbert not college Kirk Cousins, he's far superior to NFL Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
But you had a great take on this one pre-show. Yeah,
so Kirk Cousins, at the time of you watching this, might be the MVP of the NFL, or might have one, because last we know, I mean, this offense looks insane. So
the offense does look good this season.
This what is college Kirk Cousins? I'm just imagining like I know exactly what he's saying.
Oh yeah,
like that's what's so funny about this. Yeah. Is like he's like, you know what? When you read this obviously this isn't even a crazy take. I mean, Kirk Cousins, they're pocket passer. He kind of maybe seen some similarities, maybe not. Whatever. Obviously, it wasn't quite accurate. But like when you say that, I'm like, I know exactly what quarterback you think this guy's gonna be, and that's
he's very good at painting a picture. Not great at draft analysis, but very good at painting a picture.
It's one hot take, not the best. Big Tua fan. All right, last one here. This is my favorite one. When I read this, I was like, this is the last one. So
let's be honest. It's only your favorite because I claimed Sherbert. Sherbert was the best one.
Charles here. They're obviously hoping lightning strikes twice. Okay, let me read the tweet and I'll tell you why I think this one's so funny. No pun intended. Okay. They got Dan Fouts from Oregon in 1973. A little history lesson. And I would say that worked out pretty well. Dan Fouts. You know the name. It worked out well enough that 1973 you actually know the quarterbacks. That's good. The only difference,
far, very accurate.
The only difference is that Herbert doesn't figure to have the kind of mentor Fouts had in Johnny Unitas. This one is one of the funniest tweets I think I've ever seen about this, because as I'm just imagining they're in the war room here. They're drafting and they're thinking about it. They're like, okay, we drafted 1973, almost 50 years ago. We drafted this guy out of Oregon, Dan Fouts. That worked out really well for the San Diego Chargers. That worked out fantastic. I think we should go back to Oregon this time. They didn't want Chad Pennington and whoever else came out of Oregon, Marcus Mariota. Well, he went early, but they didn't go that route. But right here, this is the Dan Fouts. They're hoping lightning, no pun intended, strikes twice. I just love the idea that they're thinking about that. Or that's what he's thinking. He's like, this is what they're obviously hoping. Like he's like in their mind, like they're actually thinking that.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't in the draft room, so you don't know that that's not what happened. But it seems unlikely. That's the thing about this take. He technically didn't say anything wrong. It's an insane theory. But technically, like, he didn't say Herbert was going to be bad. He said he wasn't going to have that kind of mentor. Turns out maybe that wasn't as necessary. But yes, again, we're going back to the painting a picture. The picture you just painted of that war room and what this guy thought was happening in that war room is insane. Like, that's obviously not what happened.
I don't know why that. Yeah, like they're obviously hoping. That's just like my.
And there was, and I feel safe in saying that nobody in that war room was involved with the Chargers in 1973. I feel fairly safe in saying that. I didn't do any research.
We don't do that here, but
another theme on
do
this
look
show.
up Twitter tweets.
Yeah, if it didn't happen on Twitter, it didn't happen. That's kind of our policy.